Recent developments. There are three current major players in the console market today. They were released around 2013 and 2014. First, there was the Xbox One. That was released on November 22nd of 2014 in the United States, and it was originally priced at $499. Next, we have the PlayStation 4, which was released on November 15th of 2014, so about a week before the Xbox, and that was priced at $399. Next, we had the Wii U. It was released a year earlier, but they weren't so much focused on the technical specs. The Xbox One and PlayStation 4 were competing, to have the fastest processor, just higher technical specs, and the Wii U was more focused on just bringing back those old, famous franchises like Mario, and that was kind of their selling point. Some major marketing techniques of the Xbox One and PlayStation 4 was that they had other non-game content. For example, Netflix, they had the capabilities to get on Netflix and stream those movies and videos, same with Hulu. Just a lot of other things that weren't so much just focused on video games. Also, they would have built-in Blu-ray players, which helped them to kind of promote, look, we have multiple purposes, for just one device, not just to play video games. When it comes to social gaming, software companies and other game designers, they realized how big Facebook and Twitter, just other social media websites were, and they wanted to kind of use those to kind of create a new twist on video games. By doing that, it kind of encouraged social interaction between friends, and that kept them more involved and excited about a game. Kind of like Farmville on Facebook, it allowed the users to share their stats online with their friends, to invite their friends to play with them, and that way they could kind of help each other and kind of share and lend their resources. One of the biggest things that has recently been developed with that is the way that many of these social games generate revenue. A lot of these games are free to play, but they have an option where you can purchase kind of in-app things or additions. You can purchase, items to decorate your virtual restaurant, or you can purchase virtual cash just to buy other items to kind of help you get a leg up on your competition. Mobile gaming. With technology improving, so is mobile gaming. Nintendo and Sony both have handheld game platforms with wireless capability. Nowadays, you can see so many people kind of playing, with their cell phones. Phones now have a larger touchscreen than ever, and the game designers are taking advantage of that. Also, one game that is kind of recent that's going on is Pokemon Go. That kind of, is really big when it first came out, and that's because game developers are starting to use kind of the GPS locators that phones do have. So current status, there were no new platforms introduced between 2006 and 2012. But as I already talked about, the major ones kind of came out, in between 2012, 2013, 2014. The Xbox One has actually sold 5 million units worldwide, and that was through midway of 2014, so it's obviously sold a little bit more now. The PS4 has sold over 7 million units, and the Wii U hasn't sold quite as many. It's sold less than even the Xbox, and that kind of disappointed them just because they did expect more people to be kind of interested in, Mario and those famous franchises. In 2013, the U.S. income from video games totaled slightly more than $15.4 billion, which is an incredible amount, actually. While in the past, we've kind of thought that games are just, for children and teenagers, that's kind of changed. Those people who grew up playing those games are now adults, and now they're kind of known as gamer parents, because they play no matter how old they are. And right now, the average video game player is actually 30 years old and has been playing for over 12 years. So all this information, comes directly from the textbook, and also a website I was kind of doing a little bit of research on, which is elearners.com. Some factors to watch. In 2013, the Oculus Rift headset, so that's kind of like a virtual reality headset where you kind of put it on and it kind of immerses the user in the game. As technology continues to grow, virtual reality headsets will get even bigger. There's more and more companies, for example, Samsung has made one called the Gear VR, and just as more made, video game designers are kind of focusing more on creating those types of games, just because it is, you know, so popular. Kickstarter. So Kickstarter is a crowdfunding website. They're also becoming more and more popular. They allow the game developers and designers to raise money and funds so they can continue to develop the game and make it even better. So in exchange, they may allow users to get free content, or they may be able to get an earlier release of the game before, you know, the rest of the people do. So that's basically what they do, is just they raise money and funds so they can continue to develop the game and make it even better. For example, the Oculus Rift was actually funded through a Kickstarter campaign, and that raised more than $2 million that went towards further developing it. And that's kind of why it's been so popular. Women in video games. Most people think of video game players as men, but the growth in the number of women playing video games is expected to continue to climb. Already, 45% of those video game players are women, which is up about 7% from 2008. Adult women actually represent a greater share of the video game market at 31% than young males under 17 do at 19%. So just in conclusion, video games is a $1 billion a year industry, which is, you know, quite a bit. So it is really big. Many people are looking into it, getting more involved. It's kind of got a constant evolution of games with the change in technology. For example, like the virtual reality headsets now. It's just constantly evolving with the new technology that we do have. These new consoles that came out recently do provide accessibility to different things other than video games. And so that's kind of, you know, come from the change in technology as well, just with Netflix and Hulu getting so big. Just people kind of want, you know, something that can, you know, stream all of those things rather than having a separate device for each of them. More people are just generally playing video games more now than ever, and it's expected to continue to grow. As we can see, more women are starting to play. You know, older people are still staying involved with video games. So it is, you know, on the rise. So quiz question, the first one is, what do crowdfunding websites like Kickstarter do? Is it A, promote a new video game, B, brainstorm ideas for a new video game, C, raise money so they can continue to develop a game, or D, sell video games? And the correct answer to that would be C, raise money so that they can continue to develop a game. The second quiz question is, what was the name of the first video game that worked with a television set? Was it A, Donkey Kong, B, Chase, C, Super Mario Brothers, or D, Space War? And the correct answer to that would be B, Chase. So thank you guys all for watching. If you guys have any questions, just go ahead and let us know. Thanks.